What's going on, guys? Mojo here, and today we're back with another video. Now, this is a video that has a specific topic in mind for it. Now, there's no scripting, there's nothing I'm going by as far as that goes. I just have a few tips put down on a notepad here, and I'd like to go over them all with you. Now, as you know, recently League Play was added to Call of Duty Cold War. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been enjoying it a lot. However, I've also noticed there's been a surplus of players that are just not up to par to where they probably should be. And I wanted to kind of give some tips that I believe that I incorporate myself that will help you in progressing your rank in League Play, taking you to that next step. Now, all these are completely subjective and opinional based on my experience, so take them how you may, and this is only meant for the people that want to get better and rank up in League Play. I'm currently at the expert level. I just ranked up from advanced, so I know all of this works. A lot of this, or actually not a lot, but the last few tips are hard to swallow. Okay, however, they are factual, and I want to go over them with you. Do what you will with this information, but stick to the full video to get every bit of it. Now, first things first, we're going to talk about some of the more basic tips whenever it comes to Call of Duty. Now, all these, I say basic because, to me, it's pretty much self-explanatory in my opinion, but it may not be. So just to go over them, we're going to start with, like I said, some of the basics. Now, step one is knowing your loadout. Now, League Play has some restrictions in comparison to public games. They've restricted a lot of the guns you can use. They've restricted a lot of the attachments, field upgrades, and as well as score streaks. And I believe actually some of the perks as well. I don't focus a lot on perks, to be honest with you. But I do know they've limited a lot of the lethal, tactical, field upgrades, guns, score streaks, attachments, everything like that. So it is extremely important to take some time and make a few loadouts, not just one, because there are multiple game modes in League Play. So make multiple loadouts that suit your play style for each individual game type. So we have, for instance, we have Hardpoint. If you don't know what Hardpoint is, I definitely recommend doing some research on it, or you can let me know and I can do some videos on some tips and tricks with that as well. However, Hardpoint, you basically just have a designated area. Your team has to hold that area until you get to a certain score limit. You have a game called Control, similar playstyle. There's an A and B. There's 3 bars that need to fill up, and the team has to hold the objective to gain that on the attacking side. Now, of course, you have defending, but that's for another topic. Now, you also have Search and Destroy. Now, each of these game modes have their own, or for me anyway, I have my own play style with each of them. Alright, for a game like Control, I'm rushing more than anything, okay? I have a limited number of lives, but they also have a limited number of lives. So, I know that I need to do one of two things. I need to either lower them down to 0 on the amount of respawns, or capture these objectives. So I have a submachine gun class designated specifically for game modes like Control, so that I can be really quick, I can be agile, and I can make sure that I'm holding the objective. Now, however, League Play did mess up my class, so I had to go back and rebuild it. I used a suppressor, things of that nature with my SMGs, and they restricted that on League Play. So therefore, I had to rebuild my class to suit my play style on how I like to do things. So instead of using the suppressor, I used another muzzle so that I can control my recoil a little bit better. So I adapted to what they limited, and that's what you need to do as well. Same thing with field upgrades, same thing with tactical. I had a friend that used stim shot all the time, and they restricted that. Therefore, he had to adapt. So did she. I actually had a couple friends that had done that. So make sure that you're rebuilding your classes. Use your strengths to your advantage, obviously, but make sure you have a class for multiple game modes. Now we're going to move on to the next tip, which is map awareness. Map awareness is extremely important, okay, because you need to know every possible path. Being completely tunnel vision to one specific thing every time is not smart unless you're playing with a team, which we'll get to later, because you know how they play. But the point is map awareness. You need to know where people can come from. You need to be able to flank around when needed. You need to be able to help your team create pressure as much as possible. So having a good knowledge about the map itself and the layout is extremely important. Now that comes along with game sense. Game sense itself, and we'll go more if you want. Like I said, if you want any more detail beyond this, let me know in the comments. But game sense essentially is just using your headphones and listening, okay, as well as, of course, paying attention. All right, using your peripheral to make sure that you can see, if you see people in the corner, you're hearing them. Make sure you're just being very attentive to what is going on around you. All right, use all of that to your advantage, and it helps with map awareness, 100%. Now we're going to move on to the next thing. Next thing is one of the most important things in League play, in my opinion, which is comms. All right, what I mean by comms is it's whenever you are giving your team some information that they can then process, whether that's where an enemy is, it's what you're personally doing. Like, hey, if you're going to be taking an objective, hey, I'm going to A. Hey, I'm going to watch this side. Hey, I'm going to watch this position. Hey, there's 2 enemies going underneath, like the plane, for instance, on the airbase map. I can't think of the life of me what it's called, but using your communication skills to let your team know where players are and what you're doing, and if they're being attacked, you can be like, hey, or they can let you know, or like if you're being attacked, hey, I'm getting fought on by 2 people, they're in the middle of plane here. That gives someone the ability of flanking around. Like, you'll see some gameplay in just a second that I can see on my mini-map, me being aware, game sense, that my team is being fought on. So I immediately say, hey, I'm flanking them. I'm coming from behind. Now, my team ends up getting them, but the point is I let them know, hey, I'm coming. I'm going to flank around them. I'm going to try to get the advantage on them.
Did someone else
now,
dink him, or did I actually get a headshot on him?
If you are not good at communicating, all right, that is fine. However, what you need to do is you need to go to public matches first and get used to talking to your team. Get used to how the communication works in the game. All right, get used to telling different positioning. Do the best you can with it, because people call different positions different things. However, get used to talking to your team. All right, play the game modes that are similar to League play, and just talk in general. Okay, yes, you'll find some toxic people out there. However, letting your team know, it gets you used to talking to your team, and you need to be able to communicate in order to win games. Winning games gets you higher rank. It's just how it works. Oh, there's one under plane. Now, going to the next thing, if at all possible, play with a full team. Now, there's teams of 4 on here, so you may have more friends or more people that you like to play with, but choose people that suit your play style and that will get you the most wins as much as possible. Now, preferably people you play the most often with. Hopefully that's more obvious, but if not, seriously, choose people that you play with more often. Now, like I said, there's only 4 people, so make sure you're choosing players that you play extremely well with. And the reason why I stress this in general is because it really is important. Okay, if you have a full team that you play well with, you immediately have advantage over the enemy team. Immediately. Now, going to the very next thing, this is where it gets a little bit difficult. Now, I know I just said play with a full team. Okay, it doesn't matter with skill gap, things like that. However, I need to specify a little bit more. And again, this is extremely hard to swallow whenever it comes to a tip, and it was for me as well. However, it's true, and I will give you an example. Now, as I'm sure every one of you are aware, the different ranks, or at least people that have been into League play, knows those ranks of competitor, to advanced, elite, or expert, elite, and then master, I believe, is the top. Yeah. Anyway, there's multiple levels, or multiple ranks that you can be in whenever it comes to League play. Now, you need to know who you're playing with, okay? Understanding the skill gap is extremely important. A small skill gap between friends is okay. A large skill gap, not so much, because they really could potentially weigh your ranking down, okay? And what I mean by that, just to give you an example, and this isn't meant to seem harsh, and I'll give you a way to how you can work with them. However, whenever you're playing with your team, if you have a teammate that is constantly going negative or that never plays the objectives, then that is not going to be a good suit for your team. You may be better off just playing with a random. That's where the pill gets hard to swallow, because a lot of times people that are playing League play, not every one of them, you'll still get those randoms, but most of the time, people that are playing League play are playing to win. They're playing to rank up, which means they're going to play the objective. They're going to do everything that I've talked about previously, most likely using comms. They're playing objective, and they can hold their own. So playing with people, and in a lot of cases, you'll get into your own skill rank. Not every time, but at least having a random in your skill rank may be better than playing with that friend that goes negative all the time. Now, here's how, and I'll give you an example on how I know this is factual. So whenever I first started playing League play, I played with some of my friends, and I knew the skill gap was different. However, it didn't really bother me. I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be based off of me, not how they play, so it didn't bother me. However, it did affect me. Whenever we were playing, they didn't play the objective and they used the wrong class for that game mode, and they ended up going negative and we ended up losing the round. Now, us losing the round during placement then put me at a disadvantage and ended up putting me, after it was all said and done, in the advanced division. Now, it's not a bad division per se, but the thing is, that loss, because of your team, the person that I chose to play with, or the people that I've chosen to play with, caused me to be at a lower rank because they didn't play objective and they didn't hold their own. Not holding your own results in losses, results in lower rank, results in hurting your stats. Now, currently, I'm at the expert level. That's one tier above. I played by myself. I played with randoms. And I played objectives. We used comms. All this gameplay is what you're seeing. I'm now expert level. Like I said, one tier above. Playing by myself. Alright, that is 100% proof that what I'm telling you is accurate. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. Now here's how you can work with your friends. Because I know if you're anything like me, you really like playing with your friends. Here's how you can work with them. You can work with them by taking them to public games, alright, giving them tips and tricks, offer to help them. Now, they don't have to accept your help. However, offering to help them, give them some insight, what you try to use, forcing them to communicate a little bit more. Be like, hey, where are they at? Like, and that's what I mean, obviously not actually forcing them, but be like, hey, where are you at? What are you doing? So what's your play? What are you going to do here? Asking them questions and forcing them to communicate and try different things like that will automatically cause them to be a better player. And once they get good at that level, then you are at your level, then you can actually start bringing them over to league play, and there's you another addition to your team. And then they can hold their own, you can hold your own, and you all can progress together. So start out in pubs if you need to, or if you want to play with those friends. However, unless it just does not matter to you, then watch who you play with. Okay, now if any of these tips helped you, please let me know in the comment below. Leave a like on the video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I do plan on making more videos like this because I do enjoy helping here. Again, nothing is meant to seem like I'm attacking anybody or anything like that. However, I do want to help. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. If you have specific questions, you want me to go into more detail about a certain topic, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, and game on.